Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Healthy Doubt blog on the Common Sense channel. Today's topic is reflected glory, the source of all dullness. So, in this blog, we are going to get into the source of dullness, which is if your life is dull, if you find things unexciting, uh, it's going to be about that. But first, before we start, let's take a look at this nice image, this lovely piece of art, and what makes it a lovely piece of art. So, you have a man walking, and you have a bird flying above him. I think it's a pigeon, but okay, whatever it is. So, you have a man walking and a bird flying. Now, the shadow of the man is something like a knight, a person holding a sword, and the shadow of the bird is like a dragon. So, the reason this is good art, or the reason this kind of art speaks to most of us, is because this reflects your subconscious. In your subconscious, you always want life to be a kind of wow, a kind of awesome, glorious thing. And but your life is actually a reflection of that. So if you're the man walking and you think of the shadow as a more interesting thing, you can also think of the shadow as being real and the man being a reflection of that. So in that case, your life is a reflected glory. So let us kind of get into what these two terms, glory and wow, what they mean. So you would have seen recently India won this T20 World Cup. Uh, Glory comes from winning. Glory is a social interpretation of a wow moment in existence. So a wow moment would have been something like Surya Kumar Yadav taking that catch, or someone else hitting a sixer, or someone else getting clean bowled, or something like that would be the wow moment. And a collection of wow moments lead to a moment of glory for the team. So what you want is wow moments and you want glory. Now, one of the ways you can easily find wow moments in life is through nature. This, of course, we are talking about when wow, a wow moment is something that is perceived through the five senses. So, one of the easiest ways to experience wow moments in life is through nature. The essence is that you find something wow when it is overwhelming, when it is so huge and it makes you feel so small by comparison. In essence, you become aware of something larger than yourself. That's a wow moment. Now, there are also more practical ways in which this kind of wow moment takes place. So, let us say you're an Indian guy who travels to Switzerland and you see this lovely natural beauty around you. You see fields, you see mountains, you see all these things, and you are struck by wow. Let us say you're a director also, you're a Bollywood director. And so, what you do is you take all these wow moments, you try to put them in your films, you try to take the movies and you shoot them there. When you don't have that much budget, you take just the song. Like there are multiple Bollywood movies you will see where there which have nothing to do with Switzerland or any other location, foreign location. The entire plot is taking place in India, but for the song and dance, they go to uh, these exotic locations or these moments where the directors have been inspired by a wow moment. Now, this used to happen in the 80s before there was internet and all that, because there is no other way for the audience to have seen what the director has seen. And So a moment of wow for the director when he has actually gone gets translated into a moment of reflected wow for the audience. A reflected wow is also like a wow, but it's not that wow. It's you're experiencing uh, an actual wow in partiality. And all of life is kind of like this. You would have seen friends of yours, or maybe even you've gone to this fountain in Rome, where you go, you toss a coin into the water, you make a wish or something. I don't know what you do. I've not gone there. This is also a moment of reflected wow. Somebody else went, they told you about it, that it is absolutely wow. So you have also gone and you have also tossed a coin in there. Uh, Not judging anyone. This is perfectly fine. If this works out as a great wow moment for you, you can also do this, no problem. But what I'm trying to say is that the explorer, the first guy who sees all this, unhindered by memory, for him it's a actual wow moment. And everyone who goes to see it after hearing from him basically goes to verify that yes, the fountain exists like this, yes, you can toss a coin into it, whatever it is. You might have also heard about this other fountain. This other fountain is also somewhere in Europe, and this is a naked boy peeing, and this is also supposed to be a very great piece of architecture, or not architecture, right? A great piece of sculpturing, and this is also a kind of wow moment for all those who visit it. Now, one thing interesting about people who actually see this thing in reality is they always say how small it is. That's because this is one of those fountains that has etched itself in collective memory by being made into souvenirs and so many things so often, so many times over the past 50 odd years, is that everyone has seen it even though they have not actually been there. And when something um, is seen in that way, it acquires a certain size in your memory. So when it's in your memory, it's a large thing, but when you actually go and see it, you find out it's a very tiny thing. But yes, this is all examples of reflected wow. And again, I'm not judging anyone for choosing to see this as wonderful touristy attraction stuff. Um, your life vows have to be decided by you, not by me. Your perception is more important rather than mine when it comes to your life. But in this blog post, we're trying to get to what it is. Now, a wow moment is always sought, and a reflected wow or its reflection is always duller than it is. One person's wow moment becomes another person's reflected wow moment, which kind of means that the first person who does it, for him, yes, it's a great moment. The next person who does it because he thinks it's a great moment. It is not that amazing, but it is a reflection of an amazing moment. So what are these criteria? What is something that makes it wow, and what is something that makes it reflected wow? Let me just try to get my pencil on this. So the criteria of wow is something should become let me get to a better place. Something should become overwhelming, and that it should be new. Overwhelming means that you forget yourself for a moment. Something is overpowering. And new can happen in two ways. New can happen because something is actually new that no one has seen before, or maybe you are ignorant about it and you are seeing it for the first time, and so it is new. In both these ways, something can be new. So if something is overwhelming and it is new, that is the criteria for something being wow. And the exact opposite is the criteria for something being a reflected wow. It is neither overwhelming nor is it new. In a way, these two things are kind of opposites. Too much of reflected wow also means not enough wow. So you'll see this very easily. You can see this in practical life very easily. You'll see people have everything, but they are still bored. That's because they have got too much of reflected wow and not enough wow. Now, let me try to move on. Those of you who know me know that I live in a place called Dubai, and here I'm going to show you a simple way to experience the wow moments of life. Dubai, if you come here, you will go and visit this the certain touristy things to do here, which is you'll go to the Burj Khalifa, you'll go to this Dubai frame, you'll go to the Museum of Future, you'll go for a desert safari. All these things you have already heard of. And so when you do these things, yes, they are great experiences, but they are also reflected wow. Now, one thing I like to have people do when I meet tourists in Dubai, or I meet people, friends who have come after a while, they like to go places. I like to take them to this place. This is called the Mohammed bin Rashid Library, and this is the largest library in the Middle East and North Africa region. And this becomes an actual wow moment rather than a reflected wow moment for many people. Now, why does this translate into a actual wow moment? It is a grand structure, yes. It's got 7 floors. It's a huge, beautiful library. But mostly it translates into a wow because you have not heard about it. It hits you from out of the blue. It comes out of syllabus in your travel itinerary. And because it comes like that, it becomes an actual wow moment. The only thing you need to really understand about something being a cliched thing and something being a reflected wow is that people are incentivized to talk about those things. And the more people talk about it, the more people visit it. And the more people visit it, the more people have seen it. And more number of people have seen it, there are yet more number of people who talk about it. And so there is a very finite, a very small set of things that everyone thinks is the thing that is worth doing. And this transition from living a life in reflected wow to living a life of actual wow is just about this. It's about getting out of this mainstream narrative. You might have heard this in the old days. They used to say something uh, which used to go like, ignorance is bliss. Remember that they used to say ignorance is bliss in the old days. Anyhow, there wasn't an information overload. Anyhow, there wasn't too much knowledge available easily, or there weren't too many things that you could simply look up. But yet, at that time, they used to say ignorance is bliss. They used to say it very uh, profoundly that they were teaching people to guard their mind even back then. But today, of course, there is too much information and you love too much information. So I'll tell you the same thing in a different way. In a different way, you can say Mainstream narrative is dull. Mainstream narrative just means the cliched stuff: what to watch, what to read, where to travel, all these things, what to think, how to think. It is all, if it's done in a certain traditional way that people are teaching you, you will encounter more and more dullness. It sounds like an oversimplification, but it's not. This is all it takes to move out of mainstream narrative. And the moment you are out of mainstream narrative, that shadow of a night will reflect more strongly in reality and it stops being dull. That's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you again later.